So we're doing some revamping of the harnesses since we're into the motor as deep as we are in the engine compartment. So I got a couple of the harnesses out, and this here, kind of what you run into is just afraid of, I tell you, I sure I'll ever let the dealer touch my vehicle again. Some of the most atrocious work I've seen. It's just one thing after another, but that's another story. It is what it is. Live and learn, I suppose. So, yeah, you just kind of see, still got one more clip down and around. I gotta jack the car up on the other side and get under there and see how it attaches. Some of them are a little tricky to undo, but nothing too major. Another one I haven't done yet, but just kind of strap stuff in, so it doesn't get caught on everything when you're moving it around. It's annoying. Yeah, so there's one that's been redone, tightly wound. This one is the one that goes under the oil cooler here down below. I do have the cylinders covered up. Don't want anything getting in there for sure. But yeah, so there's some electrical tape kind of bonding them together underneath. Then some heat shield tape. It's fiberglass reinforced. Pretty much what this is. Pretty much what that is. And then followed by a good, quality harness tape, just to really bound it up. There's a heat rating behind this. Nothing's going to happen. It's meant to go in the engine compartment. We got the foil to protect the actual wires, so it's going to get hot in there. So I might take a intake tube and run it in like a little 2-inch or something. Look into that. Might be X-naying the hooks on the front. And I don't know if one of the fronts can fit on the back to make a pair in the back instead of just the one from the factory, the OEM. Yeah, so coming together with the harnesses, it's going to be a lot of additional lights and accessories into this build, and I typically will not tie anything into a factory type harness. We'll just make additional harnesses. If it was just one wire, sure, I might tie that in, but we're talking hundreds of wires here, so we'll actually make our own harnesses that'll weave in and around, and if anything, they would, zip tie around factory harnesses, run along with those where there's room. So, I'm not trying to recreate the wheel by any means. Yeah, so there's another one. This is fuel rail, fuel injectors. Goes down in there once we get the lower intake on. Be putting all this stuff back in. I'm probably going to order new injectors. 70,000 rounds on here. There's obviously life left in them, but again, we're down in here. It's around 100. They got the new 8-hole injectors. There's no performance increase, just perhaps a little bit of mileage, but it's about atomization and just how it consumes and shoots the fuel. It's more efficient, so I guess I correlate to MPG in my mind. Yeah. So when making these, again, a good quality tapes. You get what you pay for. In my opinion, I'm pretty much a 3M guy, man. I mean, I will, 3M Scotch, always an electrical tape, whether it's, car, home, boat, I don't care, man. 3M, highly recommend it. It's just, I mean, you've seen cheap electrical tape, it gets kind of gooey, honestly. It's weird, at least in my experience. It just doesn't last. Deteriorates. Very good quality, heat shield tape. Now, if you're not familiar, stupid fly. Again, it's a heat shield, so you do not apply this to anything that's going to be a hot surface. It reflects the heat away from something you want to keep cool, so that's why you're wrapping your wires. Basically just, we'll run a piece down and then wrap it around. That's how I get this big flat edge on there. That's from the factory. Just run a piece and then fold it, stick it to itself. This you don't wind per se, wrap. No, this is a thin. That's not what's here. This is, I call it thick. That's fiberglass reinforced. This, I don't really think, if it is, it's the thinnest fiberglass reinforced I've ever seen. But a fraction of the cost. This stuff here, which again is inside the harnesses, you can see the thickness there versus the other. It's just, but this is just, now that we're out of below and going to be higher, where they didn't use anything in the factory, I will put this in there and then do the final wrap. Just another insurance policy, man. I never want to be in here again, so, and whoever ends up, ownership of the build eventually will appreciate it, honestly. So, quality is important. Quality is important. You can't skimp when it counts, so honestly, 1.5-inch wide roll, buck a foot, so, and you eat it up like crazy when you're stretching down, 3 feet, so it's $3, so it's not cheap. So I'll definitely use this, down below, as I say, on the harnesses, and then once we get above, they probably haven't used any from the factory. I'll just add this, because things get brittle over time, right? These do get, it's just what happens. So the longer we can keep them going and last, the better off we are. So that's that. And harness tape as well. You can see the difference in texture here. This is really clothy, very clothy. Garbage. Sticks to itself. It does an okay job, I guess. If that's what you're into, it's pretty much going to start unraveling itself before you probably get the harness back installed. So a good quality harness tape. This X-Fasten is engine compartment rated, and it's 30 times better than this, I'm telling you, and the pricing is about the same. So just do your homework on it. It's not double the price. It's probably a little bit more than what I say, but say most of what I use is expensive. And cleaners, when they get gooed up and stuff, you want to get that stuff off. And that's what I mean by, some good quality electrical tape. Someone uses some stuff. The factory uses decent stuff, for the most part. So they got, just isopropyl, denatured, whatever you want to say, cleaner. I like this stuff. They're a little bit crazy, so we're going to get a little shot. I got 70, 91, and I mean, this is literally fuel, 200 proof. So, this you could spill all over and get it on your lube, whatever. It's a little stronger. This will eat stuff, so I'm careful with this. But I love it because it evaporates quickly, way quicker than these. So, but just careful if you're going to use something like that. So yeah, just want to touch on the harnesses. Just show what can be done. Just tighten things up. It's again, the tighter everything is, the more air can circulate around. As small as that little difference is, compared to just these loosely bound ones. It's a big difference, and they're so much easier to manipulate around and pull and push and find that final spot. Put your the replacement ones, the little some of them are pins, whatever. Some I'll say these were high temp ones. I don't have any, so if I can reuse these, great, and it shouldn't be an issue because now they're wrapped so much tighter. There's actually going to be quite a bit extra of zip from before, so and then we can just plug them back into their respective places. So all right, so that's that on harnesses, and next time another video I'll touch on the AN fittings and hoses and catch can, and some other tidbits on the serpentine side with the pulleys, lightweight, that we're going to be swapping out, and just the serpentine belt itself. Appreciate you checking it out. Have a good one. Thanks.